You are now listening to a Rabble Press podcast.
If you're the type of person who would download an episode recap, you probably already know what's going on. Or you're like me and just love spoilers. But that being said, this podcast most surely contains Game of Thrones spoilers. You've been warned, spoilers are coming.
So our picture for the week is obviously Clegane Bowl.
Oh.
Clegane Bowl. Get hype! Get hype!
Is that the only... I mean, we'll talk about it.
We're going to talk about a lot because,
is that the only shining spot in this dark cloud of a goddamn episode?
Wait till we get to it, because I got thoughts.
On the Clegane Bowl?
Uh-huh. I have thoughts. I know, and they're going to be unpopular, but I have thoughts.
I was going to say, are we going to have our first fight?
Probably.
No, I mean, Tay was there with you last year, because after Clegane Bowl, she was like, yeah, it wasn't all that hyped up to be. She even said the Brienne and Hound fight was a lot better.
Oh,
and
it was. It was. And again, we'll get to it. We're going to get to it. Hold on. Here's what we're going to do.
All of the fights in this episode?
What fights?
We're gonna hold on. Let's start the episode.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right. I'm gonna say the thing now. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Reigns of Podcastamere. My name is Chris Taylor. With me, as usual, I have Mark Bunn.
Hey.
And I have Tay Kuttner. How's it going, guys?
Hi, how much of that are you leaving in?
A lot.
All of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
great.
That, I probably won't leave the first little bit in, but
what, the penis
you know
talks?
Yeah,
you
we're
should
gonna
take that first little bit and stitch it into Scotch Sporting.
that I might do,
where it
and
will make more
it'll
sense.
make way more sense in Scotch Sporting. So,
and I'm sure it'll come up because we'll be talking about Gronkowski.
right there, you go. All right, so we have the penultimate, not only of the season, the penultimate of the entire series of Game of Thrones, and it got me thinking. Hey, what was the second last episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation? That's literally what I thought while I was watching this episode. Like, hey, why can't I think of what the second...
Is that the one where Wes and the Traveler meet up?
Incorrect.
Ah, damn.
It was a good guess, Mark. It is an episode called Preemptive Strike, featuring everyone's favorite Bajoran, Ensign Ro Laren.
That's right, she defects to the Maquis permanently.
That's correct. Right. That's correct. Thus also setting up the Maquis for Voyager, so that way you know who the fuck they are when
she was
Voyager...
supposed to be on that series.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, well, that changes things.
And then they hired
No, she was supposed to be on Deep Space Nine, and then they created Kira's character instead.
Okay, that makes sense.
Is that Nana Visitor?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't give Deep Space Nine. I hated it, but I haven't watched it since I was a kid.
It's good.
I've heard it's one of the best. Like it's like
good.
Second.
It is underrated for sure.
It is very underrated, and it's good.
But
like
a lot of the acting on it is garbage.
I don't think so.
I hated the captain, Avery Brooks.
He's so good. He's so good. There's so many good episodes.
Derek is really good.
Unlike this episode of Game of Thrones.
Unlike the goddamn series.
So, all right. So let's get into Game of Thrones instead of Star Trek.
We should really get into Star Trek after this.
We should get into Star Trek. I'm down for that. I'm down for some Star Trek. Even though
if you do the drinking game rules.
Picard sucks. But I could go back and we could go back and watch old stuff. If Tay, you haven't watched Deep Space Nine, we could do a Deep Space Nine run.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Like, I think I've seen it, but I haven't. We sat down as a family and watched TNG, and we sat down as a family and watched Voyager, but Deep Space Nine was kind of dipping in and out. So I've seen most of them.
It was the first Star Trek series that did like prolonged storylines, where it wasn't because it was a whole season where they were at war, right?
Even longer than that, because starting season 3, when they introduced, or the end of season 2, they introduced the Jem'Hadar.
Right.
And then from season 3 on, it was the Jem'Hadar War, and that's when Worf comes on as well.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the series got really good.
That's when it got really good. They got a ship. Worf shows up.
Yeah. because before the first 2 seasons, they were just on the space station mainly
Yeah.
with the whole prophecy with the prophet.
And again, we are back onto Star Trek.
I know.
So
I'm
let's
sorry.
shift
Look
those
at
gears.
We are just avoiding.
We're just
talking
avoiding.
about this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are avoiding talking about this just train wreck. You know what? As I'm watching it, I realized I didn't hate this one as much as I hated the last one. Because I think the last one is easily the worst episode.
I agree.
Like, hands down. But,
Yeah, because this episode is a result of the previous episode.
right, this one is just the natural progression of where
The
it had to
shitstorm
go.
got started.
Right.
Yeah.
So we start with Varys writing his letters. So we assume that he's, I guess, writing it to all the other
Houses.
houses and letting them know, like, hey, Jon Snow is actually the rightful
And surprise,
King.
it doesn't come up at all
what?
ever. The result of him writing those letters.
He didn't send them.
I think he sent some. I think he got a bunch out.
I don't think he did. I think he was just about to when Grey Worm shows up. I think he was just writing them when that little girl came in.
But I think there was a passage of time between that little girl and then when he gets caught.
Does time
Exactly.
even
Well,
exist in Game of
because time
Thrones?
was irrelevant for the last couple. So that was my sense. But one thing I totally missed in the first, or maybe, I don't know, Mark and his insane memory.
I can tell you right now, Chris brought it up last year. I think I know where you're going.
That he was trying to kill her.
Yes, Chris brought that up last year.
Yes.
That like I missed it the first time. I missed it the second time, and I was like, oh, that would make so much more sense.
Right.
If she found that out. Like his death to me was like, oh, okay, well, I guess his death makes sense now because he did literally try and kill her.
Right.
Which she doesn't bring up when they're executing him.
No.
So I don't know if she knows. I don't know.
She
like
doesn't.
What,
Right.
so then what was the point of that? To make
Oh, because B&B are bad writers.
Yeah, because like if you play that angle that he was trying to kill her, then she's really justified in burning him.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
like 100% justified. So, yeah, I don't know why they didn't. And I guess maybe we're just reading into it, but that's what I saw as well. Was like, oh, she's not eating because they're trying to put, you know.
Yeah,
he would
well,
only
said
want to know
keep
because,
trying.
yeah,
He says keep trying.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And if you wanted to show she was crazy by killing him, take that scene out.
right.
There's a couple of scenes that are like, why is this in here?
Ugh,
There's a lot of them.
whole episode is why is it in here?
Yeah.
So John arrives. She's our queen. I don't want it. How many times did he say it in the scene? Like 3, 4?
I counted 2.
He says 2 in this one, and then
And he
it's
says it later when they're making out.
3 more in the next one. So you get
Yeah.
5 drinks within like 5 minutes. And then there isn't much for the rest of it. So that's good.
That is good.
No, because there's less dialogue for like the last half of the episode.
Oh my goodness. Did you cut your hair?
That's cut.
Oh, wow. I bet it
Just like his dad.
does it make you faster?
Does it make you faster? Your haircut? Mm. I
Okay,
love you.
see ya.
For what? Oh, for crying? Oh, don't worry, kiddo. Love you.
Did he just apologize for crying?
Oh, yeah, he was freaking out when I tried to take him downstairs before I got on here.
Oh.
He's good though. He always apologizes. Dad, I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry I made you upset. I'm sorry. All this stuff. He's always sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
What a perfect child.
And I try to tell him, like, you don't have to be sorry for this. You know, like,
That's gonna bite back in 10 years.
yeah, I know.
like,
Yeah.
hate that kid.
Oh, he said something the other day. We were getting, he wanted to get a new cat. He wanted to get a cat. And I said, oh, if we get a cat, what are we gonna name it? And he said Declan. Yeah.
After my brother, after my other brother that no one talks about.
That's right.
That he stabbed to death.
That's right.
One day he's gonna come into your room at like 1 a.m. and ask what happened to Declan.
We don't say that name in this house. That's what I'll say to him. Okay, so yeah, so John arrives and Varys is basically just trying to sell him on doing the job. Like, you're the guy, you can do this. You know?
Oh what? Yeah, this is where the rest of the drinks came in.
Right.
I don't want it. So then I don't know. Then why leave the poisoning scene in?
Right. Well, I mean, the poisoning scene's so subtle too, right? Like,
Yeah, because he doesn't outright say I'm poisoning her. He just says, keep trying in the kitchen.
yeah.
They're watching me.
What are we, 5 minutes in?
About that, yeah.
I think I checked the time in this one more than the long night.
Okay.
Episode.
I didn't check the time that often in this one. I checked it when there was like 20 minutes left, and I was like, oh, okay. We're further along than I expected, actually. So,
I mean, we'll get to the battle scenes, but like in the long night, you paid more attention because your favorite characters were in it.
right.
And in this one, it was just...
There was almost no John in this episode. He was barely in it.
But it was the same thing over and over and over and over. Okay, we get it. Innocence, blah, blah, blah.
All right, so Tyrion goes in to check up on Daenerys, and this is when Daenerys says, someone's betrayed me. And she says, John. And Tyrion's like, well, no, it was Varys. And she's like, yeah, but you told Varys, and you found out from Sansa, and John told Sansa when I told him not to, so ipso facto, you know.
So, couple questions for you, gents, about this scene.
Yeah. She wasn't wearing any makeup, or she was wearing very little, and they tried to like make her look ugly-ish. And
She looked tired.
Yeah, and I didn't like it. Because I don't... No, because what they're trying to show is that she's... I see it as, oh, ugly equals crazy.
Yeah, I thought I was defeated.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. It just felt like... And then I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, no, because like Cersei's always been portrayed as super evil, and she's never looked bad once on the show. Right? Like except for when she was being tortured, but she's never been, what do you call it? Like, she's never been ugly. They never uglied up Cersei.
Yeah. I think, yeah, to me, it was just more like she was exhausted.
Right.
So my first question is, what does Tyrion have to gain from telling Varys? And then what does Tyrion have to gain from telling Daenerys?
Why does Tyrion... Okay, so Tyrion needs...
Here's my answer for both questions.
Okay.
Are we supposed to... are we supposed to...
Your answer is going to be smartass, isn't it, Mark?
No, I'm going to say that Tyrion this entire season has been dumb. So since he's been dumb this entire season with his decisions, it makes sense for him to do something stupid again.
Okay.
But he did two but are we to maybe assume that Tyrion told Daenerys that Varys was trying to kill her? Because what would he be telling her? Varys has betrayed you by
writing letters that he never even sent.
By openly
challenging
her claim to throw into the... Yeah, that's it. Not the actual poisoning, because...
Yeah, they really needed to put it out there, because like I do think that it, and I mean, yeah, they want her to be the Mad Queen, but like I honestly think it would make it way more like so okay, so she's losing, nobody loves her, right? This is her big thing right now, is nobody loves me in Westeros, and people are trying to kill me. People that I've trusted are trying to kill me. Now it makes the turning crazy a little more.
Yeah, I think that like it would have been then more, hey, look, she's crazy, because she says then later, I killed him because look at what happens to people who knew.
Right.
It also makes sense.
I like that of like, okay, she's fucking like that's how a crazy person snuffs out a secret by just
Killing everybody who knows it.
killing the
But
source.
it also helps the narrative for her to burn women and children if she catches a little girl like who Varys had trying to poison her.
Yeah. Right.
I think it's because they didn't commit to either thing. Now we're confused. Like they didn't commit to he didn't do anything and she killed him just because he knew.
Right.
Or he knew and saw what she was going to do and tried to kill her first.
Right.
And they didn't commit to either of those things. So now we're left with a question mark.
Well, because they simply forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in there. That's in my notes somewhere too. Okay, so so then Tyrion says, "I'm glad Sansa told me because I'm your hand and I should know these things." And then this is what he says about Varys is like, Varys is your master of whispers. Like he needs the information to know what's going on here, there, and everywhere. And to me, that makes sense. I understand that rationale. But here's the thing. Sansa knew what the fuck she was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sansa did that on purpose because she knew he's gonna tell Varys.
She's
Varys
the
is
smartest
gonna know.
character in this whole
She
fucking
is
thing.
the smartest character in the whole fucking show, which is insane.
Until the very end.
Well, we'll get to that.
The very end of this or the very end of this
The
show?
very end of the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, and after next week.
Just nominating Bran?
Yeah, I guess because it's dumb.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
real dumb. Because anyways, okay, we'll get to it. So, Varys wanted the best for us all. Doesn't matter now. Okay, so then they bring Varys out and he burns the notes and throws his. And again, this is why I assume he hadn't sent any because he just burned it and threw it away. But again, that was only one, and who knows?
I see him sending some.
But
I think he got some information out and he burned. I didn't. So now why did he burn it then? If
Right.
he knew,
If
He
he
knew he was
already-
gonna get, yeah, exactly.
So Grey Worm opens the door with the handcuffs and takes him outside. Now, the one thing I liked about this scene, so Tyrion confesses and says, it was me who ratted you out, and then I like Varys, like, I hope I deserve this. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I like that too.
And then goodbye, old friend. That was like a surprisingly touching moment. Or it's just like, they were buddies, and then Drogon coming out of the shadow. That was like, that was amazing,
Great.
amazing.
And it just caused so many question marks again because it's like, so was Tyrion evil? Did he know what he was doing? Did he? I don't understand.
Like, was Tyrion covering his own ass?
Yeah,
I don't think he
like,
was
oh,
because I think he knew that she was gonna do it no matter what, because she knew anyways. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard.
I don't get Tyrion's motivation in telling Daenerys that.
Tyrion doesn't have any fucking motivation
If only
anymore.
we had more episodes to explore that.
No, we wasted time on like an hour and a half of fight scenes with people you don't know.
Correct. Okay, man. Remember when the battles took place off screen?
Remember?
Remember what's the one where Rob beat Jamie, the Whispering Woods or whatever?
Yeah.
You didn't even see the fight.
No, you
It
see
was
Tyrion
just-
get knocked out, and then that's it.
And then it's just like, hey, we captured the Kingslayer. That's when the show was the best. When they didn't spend money on fights. It just
And Jamie was never good at fighting, clearly, in the 8 seasons that we've been watching.
Hey, he beat Ned. He beat Ned in the
He
street.
didn't beat Ned. Ned got stabbed in the back,
Well,
in the leg,
he won
and then
that
Jamie got
fight.
pissed off.
He won that fight. Okay, so John didn't like Varys getting burned. So then we go to Grey Worm and Daenerys talking about Missandei and like, oh, it's all she brought, and he throws the collar in the fire. Who cares?
Yeah, cut this entire scene
right out.
Because again, if you're trying to make her look mad, this is justifying it again.
Right. And
Look,
I mean, we're supposed to be conflicted, though. We're supposed to be conflicted. That's yes. Yeah,
I thought
100%.
I thought the scene was a setup for Daenerys and Grey Worm to conspire against Jon, so that if Jon ever goes against her, that Grey Worm would kill Jon. And I thought that would happen later in the fight because he gives him that look. He's like, "Oh, he's trying to stop these guys from fighting. Do I kill him now?"
Right. And
because then that would have added to the whole Mad Queen thing, which would have been great.
Would have made perfect sense.
Yep.
Listen to us just deep sigh every time something happens. We're just like, again. Okay, so
most of my notes are ending question marks.
Right.
Yeah.
So then Jon comes down the stairs and she's like, "Oh, let him. We need to talk. Whatever."
I hope everyone has 3 drinks ready.
Yeah. And she says, "What did I tell you? I told you this would happen if you told Sansa. I told you."
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
Did he say something like he had to tell her? And then I questioned, why did he have to tell her?
Well, because Bran said it's your choice and didn't really leave him much of a choice. It's fucking Bran's fault.
So it's Bran's fault.
It is. It's all Bran's fault.
This is Bran's long game to become king.
Yeah.
Right?
Isn't there a conspiracy that Bran isn't the 3-eyed raven? Bran's actually, is it blood raven? Oh, fuck. Not blood
I don't
raven.
know this. That's interesting.
Because there's, fuck. And book people are going to be screaming at their earpod headphones right now. Fuck.
Just
there's
taking
like
their AirPods out and throwing
a rival to the 3-eyed raven, like way back in the day with the Blackfriars.
Oh, okay. I haven't heard this.
And I think there is an online conspiracy that he isn't the 3-eyed raven. He's basically the evil version of that.
Interesting.
But
okay.
Again, it's just clinging to the Night King swirls meaning something.
Right. Can't wait to find out what those mean.
Can't wait to find out what Qyburn's purpose is. Oh wait. We never do.
Oh wait.
Remember when Chris was so adamant about Qyburn, like double playing Cersei?
I mean,
I'm so excited. There are some characters when we do our recap of characters.
Yeah.
There are some that I'm very excited about, and Qyburn is one of them.
Yeah.
Because what we thought he was going to be and what he ended up being is just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nuts. Okay, so she says to him, "Far more people in Westeros love you than me. I don't have love, I have fear." And then Jon says, "I love you." And then he says, "You're my queen."
And then he said, "Is that all I am to you?"
Right. And then goes,
queen, and I added that as a drink.
Goes to kiss him, and he pulls away. And it's like, just throw her a bone, man. Seriously, literally. All of this is gone. None of it happens if he just bangs her right there.
Just okay. I'll just fuck you, get you nice and tired, and we'll be good.
Just get the endorphins going, and I'm just saying. My notes
are all caps. Stop kissing. You have no chemistry.
Oh, and I mean, whatever minimal chemistry there might have been, it's all burned at this point. And I mean, I think it's supposed to be. Because he's definitely like seeing her and pulling back, like seeing who she is or who she's becoming.
See, and again, like I guess for me it just makes sense that he's pulling back because it's his aunt,
right?
And that just makes it so fucked up and weird that they fell in love because he's pulling back because she's his aunt. I guess, like, I like that she said she killed Varys so he wouldn't tell the truth. Like this, I guess it was to the Jon when she was like, "This is what happens to people that know."
Right.
But it's just getting back to what we talked about. It's like, but now there's ambiguity because we saw that there was a plot to kill her.
Right.
So that's justified.
Right.
But it's not brought up.
But it's not brought up.
This is what happens to people that know he tried to kill me.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That makes sense.
And then and if she tells John that, like, oh shit, he tried to kill me, John's gonna be like, oh, well then yeah, fucking burn him.
But then
But then when he kills her, he's in prison for months, and then let go.
We're not gonna
I
talk.
know.
We're not gonna talk about that till next week, or we will talk at length about how dumb a lot of it is.
Then I would have been like, you could still have her go mad because she could see, hey, people are always going to be trying to kill me. I better strike first.
Right.
And especially if she catches the little girl trying to kill her, which would make more sense for her to kill all those women and children, but there's still no justification for that.
Right. Okay, so the next scene is, I guess, Tyrion is telling her, like, hey, when you hear the bells, stop fighting.
We should have done
given
everything for the amount of times that he brought that up.
Just stop fighting. The bells mean we've won. Everyone's like, okay, cool. Okay, cool. Bells mean we won. And then she tells him, oh, we caught your brother trying to sneak past our lines. I guess he was going to be with Cersei.
I have some questions, if I may.
And then she says, next time you fail me, yada, yada, yada. Hasn't he failed her enough? Hasn't Tyrion failed enough? Isn't he out of second chances at this point?
Yeah.
Like, shouldn't she have killed him?
So many times. Like, she killed... Ostensibly, if she didn't know about the murder plot, she killed Varys and should have also killed
Should have killed them both because...
Killed them both.
Because he's fucked up enough. Because Varys, that's one fuck up for Varys.
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't even know about the poisoning.
So then you have to assume she knew about the poisoning, and then if she knew about the poisoning, why did she not tell Jon? Oh, he tried to kill me, and when she...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Can I bring up some Cersei questions?
Oh,
or hit you with some facts?
Let's hear it. I love it.
Because last episode, I was really angry and did a lot of research on the population of King's Landing.
Right.
Because there's this whole subplot about, well, if Cersei's in charge, she sits on the Iron Throne. And I know we went through all of the major houses.
Right.
And discovered maybe one is still following Cersei. And there's this whole, like, fear about the people in King's Landing and the innocent people and blah, blah, blah. And my question was, who at this point is still following her?
Right.
So I did some research on what the populations of Westeros are. So the population of King's Landing is supposedly between 400,000 and 500,000.
Okay. I thought it was 1 million, but okay.
This is according to multiple internet sites.
I'm sure it's right.
I have the North at 4 million people.
Oh, okay.
I have the Vale at 4 million. The
Okay.
Riverlands at 4. The Iron Islands at 1.5. The Reach at 12. Stormland at 2.5. Dorne at 3. Westerlands at 5.5. Lannisport at 200,000. And I have King's Landing at 400,000.
Right.
So why are they scared of her?
I don't know.
We are talking about 4 plus 4. I can't do the math that quick. Let's say about 30 million people.
Right.
On your side.
Right. And 400,000.
400,000 on her side.
Well, she's got the Golden Company. They didn't bring any elephants, though.
Speaking of which, remember when they said they had 2,000 horses? Where were they?
Mark.
They were with the Dothraki.
Mark. This whole battle was just a fucking... It was like, it was a big tease. Like, oh, we're going to get this big battle. And what we got was... we'll get to it.
I just wanted to hit you with those population facts.
Right.
Because
No, and I'm
still concerned about it.
we've talked about how stupid this is, and how what John said was, we'll surround the city and we won't let anything in, and the people of the city will turn on her because they know it's her causing the problems. And that's what they should have done. That's the smart move.
But we only have one episode left, so we have to hurry this up.
Right.
Who are those people? And that's why I understood Daenerys' point. Like, we are talking 32 million
Right.
versus 400,000 people.
Again, and King's Landing has nothing to offer. They don't hold any of the foods. They don't hold all the money.
I understand Daenerys' point. Like, if these people are still choosing to follow her,
Fuck them.
what the fuck?
Burn them.
The Reach, Stormlands, and the Riverlands are all very close to King's Landing if the map I'm looking at is accurate.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't get why they're scared of her. I don't know why they just don't march in and we're like, bitch, we're here. We outnumber you by a lot.
I don't know. Okay. Where were we? Oh yeah. So Tyrion decides that okay, so she says to me, if you fail me again, I'm gonna pretty much burn you with my dragon. And he immediately goes to find Davos to help him smuggle Jaime out of.
Gonna do it again.
Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you just don't care.
Here we go again.
Yeah. The scene with him and Jaime, you know, I kind of hate and kind of like at the same time. Oh, how'd they find you? And he holds up the hand and he's like, "Do you ever think maybe to, I don't know, take it off?"
Yeah.
And then Cersei always called me the stupidest Lannister, which it's probably not true. And then Jaime's like, "Well, you know, maybe she can win this fight." Tyrion's like, "No, man, like, no, come on. Ring the bells and we'll know it's over. Ring the bells. Tell her to ring the bells.
Hey, ring the bells.
Ring the bells." The title of the episode is "The Bells Ring the Bells."
Remember, ring the bells.
So, the one part I liked about this is you know, when he. What the hell? Oh,
is that Siri
that
talking
was
to you?
my watch talking to me. Fuck you. So, the one thing I liked is that he says to Jaime, like, "If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made it out of my childhood. Like, you were the only one that didn't treat me like a monster," and that really, like, that hit me. But yeah,
I did, and I like the scene because it was a goodbye, and I enjoyed that. Like, it was, two characters got to say, like, Tyrion knew, you're not this unless you get her in time and get her out.
Right, but and if you do, like, because Tyrion's like, "Well,
I'll never see you again."
Right, either you're gonna die, or I'm gonna die, or we're both gonna die, but we're not seeing each other again.
Well, or if you take her and you start a new life, I'll never see you again.
Correct.
Either way.
Right.
You can't come back, and I'll see you.
But
and
then if they got out, Tyrion dies.
As much as I hated the like Jaime leaving Brienne, that whole bullshit, there is something as disgusting as it is about, if she's going to die, we have to die together.
Right.
There is something poignant about it.
Right.
You did gloss over the really stupid Arya and the Hound scene.
Oh,
I was just gonna say, because they effectively give you the plan on how to properly do this without innocent people dying, and that's have Arya go in and assassinate Cersei.
Yeah.
And she could totally do it. Could totally do it, but they were way too late.
Like, why didn't Arya tell Sansa or Jon this?
Right.
Hey, I literally just killed the most powerful force in this universe by myself.
I also killed all of the Freys.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
I even had time to bake all their sons into a pie and make Walder eat his own sons.
Right.
10 minutes, in and out.
Yeah.
Let me do it.
Whole thing's over. And then we get a proper Clegane Bowl. where
My
the stakes
problem-
matter, because that's the problem with the Clegane Bowl. It doesn't fucking matter.
And this is where
Yeah.
we'll argue, because I think it did matter.
All right, so okay, we're
So-
almost there. We're
We'll
almost
get there. Yeah.
But my other question with the Arya scene, why did she, again, getting back to the fact that she just killed the Night King,
Yeah.
why did she have to introduce herself to a soldier?
The hero of Winterfell, remember?
Hey, I'm Arya Stark.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
that should have been what he said. Is yeah, I know.
And can I take 2 quick seconds to talk about the baby timeline? Because I know it bugs all of us.
The baby, yeah.
Yeah. So Jamie thinks she was pregnant and it's his baby.
Right.
Should she not have had the baby? Like
Well,
what?
again,
what's
off screen, and apparently the producer confirmed it. They apparently filmed a scene where she has a miscarriage before the season started. Forgot that they had filmed it, and then had the whole Euron impregnating Cersei thing at the beginning of this season, because they forgot that they had killed the baby in season 7, but didn't actually air the scene
So they had Euron impregnating her.
at the beginning of this season, because they had already killed the baby off in season 7 and deleted scene that they never actually
They'd
aired.
killed Jamie's baby. So this was why we were all right.
Yes.
Because we knew I thought she was lying to Jamie and then was like, oh fuck, I better get pregnant.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I see. Yeah, I see that.
That was my theory the whole time, is she was lying and then was like, fuck, I'm gonna eventually have to have a baby. Let's get knocked out by this guy.
Someone better
So
knock
Mark,
me up.
what you are saying is she was pregnant by Jamie.
Apparently, that's what the producer said, because they filmed a scene where she had miscarried, but never aired it, and then forgot that they didn't air it.
What?
Yeah.
Anyways, okay. So it's now morning, daybreak. We see all the ships with the scorpions on them. I guess they just forgot how easy it was to kill Rhaegal, because all she had to do was swoop in from the sun, and they couldn't do anything. And listen, this scene makes me so angry because she makes it look so ridiculously easy to kill every fucking ship in that port.
Yeah.
And there was what, half of those ships when when Rhaegal died?
Less than half. There was like, what, 6 ships in total?
So you telling me she couldn't turn around and fucking blow up all those ships after, like,
Why?
what?
Didn't she do this before?
What is happening here? And not only that, she blew up the whole side of the castle. She blew open doors.
I wasn't aware fire was able to double as a rocket launcher in some
It's
cases.
everything.
I have a couple of 9/11 jokes in my notes. Not jokes, but jokes about the conspiracy theory.
Okay.
Jet fuel can't melt steel beams. Didn't know dragonfire could melt rock.
Yeah. Well,
Except
think-
when they're trying to kill Jon, though.
yeah, exactly.
Except
So,
that it's reverse ice fire.
right. So, but before that, Cersei looks real smug, which is hilarious. Like, Arya and the Hound get in the city just before they close the gates, and Jaime didn't get in. And then I have Clegane Bowl get hype. Why did it take so long? Why did it take? Yeah, this is like, it looks so stupid. And then the Golden Company standing there in front of the city, like trying to be badasses. And then the fucking gate gets blown open, and they're all gone. Like, that's it. There goes the
that's
Golden
it.
Company. Like,
All that hype all season about them being an actual
what
force
a
to be reckoned with,
fucking
and the 2,000 horses that weren't there.
I was gonna say, aside from the horses that weren't there, if we're looking for scenes that were okay, I did like the is it Strickland? I think is the
Strickland,
name.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like he's all macho, and then when it actually gets to the battle, he like you can see
He's
him
running
going
away.
like, oh,
and he's running away, and then Grey Worm fucking sticks him.
I'd say even like when they're all lined up against each other and they're just waiting, and he's like, you could see him like, oh fuck.
Yeah. So we see Daenerys just like it's just scene after scene of her flying around, burning all the fucking scorpions, burning everything. So then we see Cersei and you know she's watching obviously in horror. And Qyburn's like, you know, maybe we should get out of here. And she's like, no, the Red Keep has never fallen. It's not fallen today.
Except when Robert took over.
Right. So okay, and so Jon and Grey Worm come into the city. They're punching people and kicking them, hitting them. They get it to a group of Lannisters. You know, the city's all burned and everything's blown up and everything's done. And the Lannisters like look at them and they look at their swords and then
They didn't even need the bells to surrender. They surrendered right then
that's
and there
right.
for the bells.
They just drop their swords and Jon's real like relieved. Oh, this is great. I don't have to fucking do anything. And then everyone's yelling, "Ring the bells! Ring the bells!"
Over and over.
Ring
just in
the
case,
bells! And
just in case you forgot the name of the episode.
and then the suspense of them ringing, and it's like here's Tyrion's face, here's Jon's face, here's Cersei's face, here's Tyrion's face again, here's Daenerys's face.
Can you do the voice thing in between?
Ring the bells! So then they ring the bells. Oh, thank God. Not going to be a slaughter. Everything's over. Thank God. Oh, wait. Just kidding. Daenerys burns the whole fucking city down.
Now, according to the producer, he says that she didn't have that planned. She didn't plan on burning the city. She made that decision apparently when the bell started ringing.
Why?
Because the producer says that's when it snapped in her head that she saw this 300 years ago, the Red Keep, that the house that her ancestors built, everything that was taken away from her. And it was in that moment when the bells rang that's when she decided to kill people. I'm like, that makes no fucking sense.
Because that's what they did when Robert. Is that what you're saying? Because they rang the bells.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh well, no. Sorry, that's what the producers are saying. The producers,
yeah.
Okay, I mean, sure.
Because in my perspective, from her perspective, is that she's still super mad at Cersei. She's looking directly at Cersei. So when they filmed this entire sequence, it's a tight shot of Red Keep.
Yeah.
So assuming that's where she's gonna go,
right?
She starts flying, and they show that shot of her flying towards the Red Keep. I'm like, okay, so she's going after Cersei straight on.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too. Like, I know that's what I thought the first time.
Yeah, and then they show the shot of Cersei next. Her face is like, oh shit, she's coming for me. Because then the next shot is the dragon coming at the Red Keep.
Right.
And then you show the shot of her burning the city. I'm like, whoa, what?
Yeah, and it kind of like happens out of nowhere. Like it's just
literally
like, oh, okay, so we're doing this, and then you see the Lannister dudes like, wait, what the fuck? And then Grey Worm's like, yeah, watch this. Boom,
and I guess that was like the signal for everyone to be a dick and start pillaging and raping people.
Right. And
for
that's
some reason.
And that's the thing. And then you see Jon like, yo, like what are we fucking doing? And then Jon's only like defending himself. This whole thing. Yeah. It's people coming at him and he's like, whoa, like get fucking back.
It's like we're not pillagers. We're at war, yeah,
this
but doesn't mean we have to kill women and
for.
children.
Exactly. And I like it's later on, but when that dude's about to rape the woman and he's like, what are you doing? And the guy's like, no, I'm fucking doing this, and he fucking guts him.
I liked. Okay, there's a couple things I liked about it. I like Grey Worm being like, yup.
Yeah.
Because he pissed.
Right. I like that we saw like the one scene after the slaughter starts, like the dude goes to block and they cut his fucking hands off, and the other dude like the knife goes through, or the sword goes like through his face, and like it like explodes into blood.
So my Daenerys justification, like I get it, and what Mark was saying about flying towards the Red Keep, Because in my mind, based on what we know about Cersei, how long she survived, if you did not kill her, it truly was never done.
Right.
You had to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what happens, whether the ring the bells or not, you have to kill Cersei.
Yep. 100%.
You have to do it. So I like that. And then my only other, if there's such a thing as lip acting, I know we've made fun of the actors in this season, Jon Snow specifically. Lena Headey is incredible.
Yes, she is fantastic.
The scene when they ring the bells and Daenerys is starting turns and they just show Cersei's face and her lips just part
just a little bit,
ever so slightly.
Yep.
I could watch that scene forever because it was just the clearly the camera cut away just before she went, oh fuck.
Right. She it's that scene, and then the scene of her drinking the wine after they blow up the Septa Baelor. Those are like my two favorite Cersei scenes.
Yeah.
Just the way she drinks the wine as it explodes and she turns around and walks away, like that's.
Oh.
Because she's super subtle, right? She's super subtle.
That's still, she's so subtle and it's so wonderful. And just her reactions and just, she barely changed her face and expression.
Right.
From like worry, are we going to be okay, to just that slight parting of the lips.
Yep.
And damn it.
So,
this is when I start checking the time too.
So then we get the Jaime running up the, he's up the side and getting in there and turns the corner and the fucking side of the castle's all falling down and fucking Euron Greyjoy shows up. And my note is literally fuck off Euron.
Let's get in this.
And then it cuts over and Cersei and Qyburn and the mountain decide that they're going to leave where they are and go down the stairs to where it's a little bit safer. But anyways, let's get to the Euron thing.
So, pardon me, how did Jaime get there? Pardon me, how did Euron survive and get there?
Right.
Pardon me, did Euron and Jaime have any scenes? So, did Euron and Jaime have any scenes together?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Euron asked him if she liked a finger in the bum.
Mm-hmm.
Because they knew who each other were, but Euron seemed not surprised in the slightest to see Jaime Lannister on this beach.
Right. Oh, and they were together when they're old pals.
All right.
They're old pals.
Now, I did read something online because talk about what they left in the episode, him saying, I'm the man that killed Jaime Lannister. I was trying to look up why that was in the show, and I did find one quote, which was Euron Greyjoy lived as he died, making everyone go, this fucking guy again.
Exactly. And the fight was okay. I mean, I guess.
I totally unnecessary. Like, why? Why?
I don't know. But, well, you needed Jaime to kill him. Just dumb.
Did you, though? Just have him die when fucking Daenerys blew up his ship.
Yeah, you could have. And then I'm the man who killed Jaime Lannister. For real, fuck off, Euron. Like, that's my note. Like, for real, fuck off.
But then I was thinking, what if... Then I got thinking, I thought, what if Euron did kill Jaime? Would that have been a better ending? And I'm thinking maybe it would have if Jaime had come that far and died there.
Right, because I have a note. I have a note. And so, so after this, we get Arya and the Hound get inside the room with the map on the floor. And the Hound's like,
I love that scene.
He's like, either the dragon's gonna get her, or she's gonna get eaten by the dragon, or the shit's gonna fall on her. You don't need to do this anymore. Get out of here. And she's like, no, I'm gonna do it. And he's like, no, like, you're gonna turn out like me. Do you really want that? Or you're gonna be dead? Which one? Like,
If we are clinging to good scenes,
Yes, no, this is a great scene.
it's a great
and the
scene.
way she says thank you to him at the end, because she like, yeah, he's right. I don't think it's necessarily in her character.
See, I like, because I think her character has been a struggle between being a faceless man and being Arya Stark.
Right.
So I do think that is a good moment for her character of like, you're right, I'm not this heartless assassin.
Right.
I do want to live.
Right. And then my next note is Clegane Bowl get hype.
But if Jaime had died,
Right.
what we get, and we'll get there, for me, is a good ending for Cersei.
Well, that's the problem. And that's my note. Cersei doesn't deserve a clean death. She doesn't deserve this.
Nope.
She gets almost a happy ending of like,
and
hey,
she doesn't. Of all the characters in this show who've been done wrong, like look what happened. Look at the death that Ned Stark got. Look at the death that Catelyn Stark got. And you're telling me that those two characters deserved. Catelyn Stark died thinking her husband had cheated on her and made a bastard baby.
Mm-hmm.
Catelyn Stark doesn't even know the truth about Jon Snow.
And Cersei gets to die.
And Cersei gets to die in the arms of the man that she loves. She doesn't fucking deserve it, and that's what pisses me off.
So that's like, if Euron had killed Jaime,
right?
That would have been great, because fuck you, Cersei.
Mm-hmm.
This one the only thing left to take away from you has been like literally everything has been taken away from her now.
Right. So the Hound gets to the stairs, and there's Cersei and Qyburn and the Mountain and 4 other Queensguard, and he fucking just cuts them all down. And so Cersei's like, okay, you know, hey, like we're going, and the Mountain's like, no. And then Qyburn's like, hey, you listen to your fucking queen, and he just fucking, whoa. And Qyburn's dead.
That's it, and that's it.
That's it. See you later, Qyburn. Thanks for everything.
And with that, we get the end of, I will vote most useless character in the show.
Qyburn?
Yep.
I don't think that's necessarily the case, but one of the most useless.
Zero purpose. Clearly,
well,
zero purpose.
The purpose that he had was to give us the Clegane Bowl. Without him, there's no Clegane Bowl.
Yeah.
Which, in and of itself, is useless. Because,
yes.
So now let's talk about the Clegane Bowl, since it's upon us.
Which then the silliest part of it is Cersei being like, "Oh, howdy."
Yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Her just sneaking past them. It's so whoop, bye.
So, what's the point of the Clegane Bowl?
Fan service.
Right.
I think we're talking about story arc. To me, it's a great arc. The same way. Fuck. Why am I already blanking on his name? Alfie Allen.
Theon.
Thank you. It's a Theon ending of Sandor had a good story.
Mm-hmm.
He was on a redemption arc, and he did redeem himself.
Right.
And he had incredible moments, but at the end of the day, he still had one singular purpose.
Okay. So,
and the purpose was fulfilled.
Right.
And he didn't care. He knew it would mean his life too.
Right.
I think
he always knew that. He always knew that.
If my brother is dying, I will die too.
Right. So, and that's all well and good, and I understand that. My issue with it is that it serves no purpose to the story. The Clegane Bowl serves zero purpose to the story.
It's its own story. It's its own subplot that they've been setting up since season 1.
Yeah,
according to the producers, they shoehorned it in for fan service only.
But here's my problem.
The producer said that it had nothing to do with the story, like Chris says. They just put it in there because that's what the fans
they knew
wanted.
we wanted it. Now here's the thing. I wanted it where, okay, because you're talking about 2 secondary characters. Now, the Hound is a secondary character, and the Mountain, we could argue, is like way down the list. And this is a fight between two non-main characters that really doesn't move the plot in any way. And had this been a fight to get Cersei out of the Red Keep, or to get Arya closer to Cersei, or to save Arya from something, you know, okay, so let's say this is the case.
That makes more sense.
Let's say this is the case. Arya was about to kill Cersei, and they captured her. And the Mountain had her and was about to kill her. Boom, Clegane Bowl, perfect. Perfect.
That makes sense.
But now you have Clegane Bowl, which means nothing. Just two guys fighting. And then the eyeball thing, which is great. It's great.
Yeah.
And I love the fight, and it's awesome. Except that it meant nothing. There were zero stakes. It didn't matter. Both of them died at the end, and they did, and literally, and I spit everywhere, it literally solves nothing.
I am a Clegane Bowl apologist.
I understand that. And because I think you've been waiting for the Clegane Bowl since, you know,
the entire time, like since season 1, when they set it up in season 1.
right, they set it up in that episode. And he fucking, and he swings, and the Hound, like, takes a knee just in time. Oh, man.
And
That was the first Mountain, though, the one that
I
looked like
don't
Macho
know
Man.
Yeah.
I don't know if this necessarily had to have a bigger impact because it was its own story arc.
Right.
It was its own like B plot in a major show.
But okay, but
I like
I see
when
what
you
you're
have the
saying.
producers come out and say it was mainly for fan service,
now
it
I'm
defeats any sort of like
But
plot
like,
theory you want to put into it.
I see what
I
you're saying,
like
and
that he
then
had a singular purpose, and I like that when he talked Arya out of it, he was like, I don't care if I die. I have to be the one to do this. It can only be me to do this. She's gonna die any other way. You know, you don't. It doesn't have to be you. This has to be me.
right.
Like I feel you can make the same useless argument to that entire episode with him and Ian McShane.
Yeah,
What
but
was
I mean,
what was the point of that the entire episode?
for him to be back alive and for us to be happy about it. So I still think my idea of Arya getting there and getting captured, and him
Any idea is
saving,
better than what
him
they gave us,
saving
yeah.
Arya, and that leads to the Clegane Bowl. I think that is a better
Mm.
than just
I
than just
disagree.
meeting on the stairs randomly, and the wall falling in and the dragon flying over, which is our picture of the week. Which, by the way, looks spectacular. It was amazing. The fight's great. And then Arya running away and then splicing together, like her falling and Sandor falling and getting up. I liked all of that. The back and forth between that.
She's choosing life, he's choosing death.
Right.
And I like that. But now, all of my defense of that, my notes are, oh, sweet Christ, there's still 45 minutes left. Then I just wrote the word hype in all caps 10 times. And then fuck 30 more minutes.
And
It was at this point where I threw on The Last Dance on Netflix and just started watching that.
And I mean, here's the thing, like, not much happens in the rest of this episode. Like really nothing happens. The city burns and Jon fights people and then they leave the city. And then Arya picks the lady up and then they fall and then the dragon comes and she wakes up and they're all burned. Like, that's the end of the episode. And then, oh yeah, remember the white horse?
Oh god, the fucking... Did we talk about this podcast or the last one about how I feel about Blade Runner?
Yes, we did. It was the
last one.
Yeah, it was the last one.
And the fucking goddamn crane, and then when not Dolph Lundgren. Is it Dolph Lundgren?
No, it's
No.
Rutger Hauer.
yes, that's
Yes.
the one.
When he dies and the fucking doves fly away, and it's like, we get it. We fucking get it. He's a fucking robot. That's fine. And the little girl, I forgot. And when I saw the little girl at the beginning clutching the toy horse, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck this scene.
Yeah.
And then when she wakes up and they zoom in on the burned horse, and then she sees
The white
the
horse.
clean white horse.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck's sakes, we get it, we get it, we get it, we get it.
We get it.
But so much of this episode with the burning of all the people, we get it, we get it. You need like 5 minutes of that. We get it. She burned the fucking city. It's fine.
Yeah. So she burned the whole city down. And I mean, I kind of glossed over it, but do we need to go in depth on the?
Do we need to go in depth on the characters that you literally have never heard of
Right.
fighting each other for an hour?
And that's it. Like, nobody in this fight was ever, like, nobody we care about was ever in danger.
We didn't talk about Jamie and Cersei's death.
Right.
Ugh.
Again, she doesn't deserve that clean death. And I did like her, I like when they get down to that room and Jamie's like, oh, fuck. Like, we're done. Like, there's no way out of here. And then she has the realization and the panic of, like, I don't want to die. I want our baby to live, yada, yada, yada. But again, she doesn't deserve. She deserved.
I do like that she's been so strong.
Yeah.
And then when faced with, oh, you're actually going to die.
Yeah, like it's over.
She then turns into a normal human being.
Right.
But you're right. She didn't deserve this clean death.
No. She deserved someone putting a knife in her. And help me God, George, when you get to it in the book, she better die in the most awful way.
Or I would have had a Varys death of her still standing there coming face to face with the dragon and
Perfect.
it just opened.
Perfect.
This was too
happy. It was too happy of an ending. She doesn't deserve a happy ending. With the shit she's done in the 8 years we watched this show.
If I'm going to die, I hope it's under a crumbled heap with Dave.
Right.
But I'm not pure. Like, that's a good, if I'm going to go, that's one of the ways I pick. I'm going to pick with my husband.
Yeah.
Would have been great if, like, Arya had found, say, Jamie dead from the Euron fight, and then she take his face, and then go to Cersei.
There you go.
There you
Boom.
go. And what a perfect ending. Because she could have been like, "Ah, I'm Arya Stark. Fuck you." Credits. A standing ovation. Standing ovation.
Yeah.
Or, like, I'm happy with the crumbling death. That's not it for me. It's the fact that Jamie's with her.
Right.
And comforting her.
Exactly.
If Jamie had died and Arya had come in like, here's his head, and then things fell on her.
Right.
Or she made it out to the beach, saw Jamie's body, and shit fell on her.
Right. I like Mark's idea. I like the Arya grabs the face and fucking kills her. Oh baby. That
better be in the book.
That's what I want. That is 100%. I want 1,000% that.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Okay, do we have anything else we want to say about the bells?
What a dick. Ring the bells.
Ring the bells. That's really loud.
No, this episode sucked.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. But again, it's predicated on the fact that the last episode sucked so bad. So
I am not excited. I'm looking forward to watching the next one, if only because
you don't have to watch any more after it.
Yes.
When I
We'll be
watched
finally done with it.
When I watched it the first time, if I'm not mistaken, it was a Raptors game. And I was in North Carolina, so we had the Raptors on the TV, and I was watching Game of Thrones on my iPad with my headphones on.
Oh, okay.
So
I was Game 6 against Milwaukee, was it not?
Yeah.
Because I remember I was at the bar. I'm like, I'm not going home leaving Game 6 to catch Game of Thrones. I'm okay with missing Game of Thrones to watch this Raptors Game 6 win.
Wow.
Yeah, so
you made the right choice.
I did.
But they lost.
No, they won. That was the series clincher.
Did they win that? Oh, okay. Yeah. So I was watching it. So I had it saved on the PVR since it aired to be like, no, I'm going to sit down and
watch it.
devote
Yeah.
and watch it because I hated it. But was it because I was watching on an iPad? Well, my home team was in the championship, but you're shaking your head. So I don't have high expectations.
Right.
I just need to know I'm going in this with as fresh eyes as you can have.
Right. But Bran still ends up the king. Just reminding you that's the choice they made.
Braun's still cracking wise at the small council.
He sure is.
You crazy cat.
And it's funny because that small council actually is one of the things that I enjoyed about that final episode. Was because I was like, I kind of like that small council.
That's our Braun. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I would watch a half-hour sitcom of them.
Called That's Our Braun?
Well, just the small council in general.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. Well, I think we're going to call it for this week because...
please.
Yeah. So we'll be back next week with the final episode of Game of Thrones, which I believe is entitled... What is it called?
The Iron Throne.
Aptly named The Iron Throne. Very aptly. Where you can hear us bitch and moan about that episode too. So, yeah. All right, guys.
Can we go into the finale?
Mm-hmm.
Thinking, is this how we thought it would end?
I could tell you now the answer is going to be no, but I will keep that in my brain as I'm watching it.
Or if this is how the books end, would you be satisfied if they got there differently?
Okay,
so that's
I see. So look at the last. So the final thing where all our characters end up, and say, is this okay if it's gotten to in a little different
way? Yeah.
Okay, because I think I am okay with a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm okay with what happens to Jon. I'm okay with Arya. I'm okay with Sansa. I'm okay with Tyrion and Bronn. I'm not okay with Bran, but
not Bran though.
I'll let it go. If maybe it's better. Maybe it'll be better in the books. But anyways, guys, we will be back next week. Make sure you tune in rabblepress.com for more awesome podcasts. Hey, youtube.com/rabblepress if you want to check out the videos and see if we're good looking, because the answer is
very much.
Very, very good looking. So we will catch you guys next week. Have a good one.
You've been listening to a Rebel Press podcast. Visit rabblepress.com for more podcasts.